As long as there have been campfires in Albion, there have been storytellers, regaling tales of great adventure and occasionally embellishing the truth with flavorful fibs. Bards use their musical talent to enrich their fables and enlighten their listeners. Verse is one such storyteller, a bard who's drifted from town to town across Albion for as long as she can remember, singing her way through the doors of magical palaces, into smugglers' dens and across treacherous seas. Her music provides those she comes across with a window to adventures they'd otherwise be oblivious to. Those who meet Verse quickly take note of her artificial arm, and some even ask how it came to be. It was stolen from the workshop of a powerful will user, a prize won from a powerful creature inside a fiery mountain. A dream that became real in the morning, an artifact carved from the living wood of a thinking tree. Verse has 100 stories to share, yet none are sure which is true. Verse had never carefully planned her next adventure until, that is, she came across the town of Brightlodge. What greater place to seek stories? Heroes of legend now descend on the town with varying motives: riches, fame, adventure, or something more sinister. By roaring tavern fires, townsfolk whisper of terrible fey creatures, vicious beasts, and rampaging outlaws found outside the town walls. Yes, this is where Verse would spin her most incredible stories. This is where she'd craft tales that would become myths, or perhaps even legends. Verse used her music as a weapon, literally. Lullaby would create a bubble that slows any creatures or projectiles inside it. Counterpoint would let you fly through the air and knock down your foe with your lute. The Encore ability would allow you to place a refreshing orb for your allies to collect, reducing the cooldown of their special abilities. Reverb would create an echo of Verse, and after a short duration of time, Verse is restored to the position of the echo and the health and mana she had at that time. Armed with both a flair for the dramatic and a reinforced lute, Verse is a master storyteller. This sharp-witted bard always gives a commanding performance, and when the fights end, she'll weave the action into an epic yarn for a rapt audience of townsfolk. Who better to sing of heroes and their heroic deeds? Choose Verse if you want to be at the front, disrupting enemies with time-bending attacks.
Verse began, not at the beginning, but near the end. She had been on the road for weeks, and finally Brightlodge was in sight. Would she find a worthy hero for her tale?
Keep up! You're out of time! What is a hero without a villain?
Red caps? Children's stories, really. Nothing compared to the things Verse had seen from the cliffs of Whalebone, or the magic that lurked in the fields of wild honey.
There were loads of them, all teeth and spikes and eyes. Oh, they'll have made such a mess of my petunias.
If I had my way, you'd be dead already. But seeing as I'm not quite myself, how can I help? Ah, you there! Serve malice and assist this farmer.
I once met a redcap who claimed he could juggle.
That's the third time this week that little so-and-so has run off with the first sniff of a red cap. Well, help yourself to that chest he presumed I'd drag along after him. That'll learn him a lesson.
Excellent! Now, stride forth with malice and conquer Brightlodge! Down! Fine. Stride forth with malice and happily visit Brightlodge.
Verse had found a traveling companion and another would-be hero at that. What stories
what
would they
pleasure,
have?
pleasure
What tales
brings.
could they share?
I'll give it back, I promise. Not very much. I was nearly down to my last spleen there. The name flips. From those cards, I'd say you two were on your way down to Brightlodge for this hero business too.
I am not aiding you through choice. When this curse lifts, all will fear they are mad.
Let's practice medicine.
One thing was for certain. Hero or no, with this many people headed to Brightlodge, Verse was certain to find an audience.
Hello. I might be tippled. No, I might be tipsy.
Now he...
Oh, go on then. Can't miss a chance to get my hands on a few more squeaky bits.
Now this was a story. 4 strangers brought together with common aim, facing down a strange and mysterious foe.
Turning out to be a right funny old day.
Verse had spent her life chasing the wildest tales, the finest yarns, or so she said. And what better source of stories than magical, mythical heroes?
Battled over at South. Tippo! Over here! Is it better to die than be saved by those you despise?
Well, don't get all righteous. Isn't saving people what heroes do?
Did you hear that? 4 bloody heroes! Will you stop clanking through here? I'm trying to sleep! Hitting me!
When life gives treasure, only fools take with just one hand.
There it was! Brightlodge! Verse was thrilled. People who'd balanced their town on a waterfall were bound to have an ear for a good story.
If you're delivering more flowers, you're too late. We're nearly ready to start the... Oh, blimey, more heroes. Sorry about that. Welcome to Brightlodge, the pride of Albion and seat of Wendell the Magnificent. You can go in now. Say hello to Wendell for me, eh, heroes? He'll be so pleased to see you. You're even taller than I thought you'd be.
I was getting pretty bored of people cutting all their flowers up here, if I'm honest. How did you become a hero? Do you think I could do it? We've only just met, but I already love you, hero. Was that too much? They all told me I was mad, standing out here, locking a gate for no reason. But I've showed them. Say hello to Wendell for me, eh, hero? He'll be so pleased to see you.
Blimey neck! Don't look over the edge. That turned my stomach right funny.
How do, hero?
You don't know how lucky you are. No one gives me free clothes.
Someone had taken the trouble to arrange an audience. They must have known she was coming. And her journey had provided enough material to leave this new king spellbound.
You've arrived. Welcome, my legacy.
Wow.
Isn't
this
the
a fine
best
welcome?
decision I've ever made. I knew this day would come. I built this town up from the rocks, and now you, the heroic peach on my kingly pudding. Now, I'll be opening the festivities in just a few minutes, and I want you front and center. But before that great honor, I've just one thing to ask. Could you pop by my boy? He's a quiet sort, and it'd do him good to see a real hero.
No, I'm not the Wendell Glass you're after. Oh. Hello. I suppose Father sent you. He does so like to keep me included. Still, nice to see a friendly face. Oh, yes, I had to give you a message. Wendell Glass Hall would very much like it if you posed for a portrait. Would you be able to pop down and see Colin? I remembered the message. Father will be pleased.
Why, hello! Goodness, look at you. Nothing like my initial sketches. Well, we'll soon sort that out. Brightlodge must have an accurate record of this momentous occasion. Hold that pose, right there. Marvelous. I shall have your portrait ready in a jiffy.
There you are. And don't you look magnificent? Everything I'd hoped, and more. Citizens, subjects of Brightlodge, we stand at the dawn of a new age. An age of kings, an age of heroes. The myths of the past are returned to us. And it is I, Wendell Glass the First, who has brought them to you. No more do we need fear the world beyond the bridge. No more shall we cower in homes of mud and stone. No more...
My children, stolen from their home. Stolen from me, from life itself. You wanted them, Wendell-Glass. You wanted their adoration. Let me look at you. You don't deserve them. And so, you shall join them.
What was that monster?
Well, a good story needs a conflict. Wendell-Glass's kidnap was inevitable, dramatically speaking. But so, verse hoped, was their heroic triumph.